All right, let's see. Did I do the thing? Have I done the thing? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I think I'm live. I think I've done the thing. Hey, guys! Hey! All right, let's see. Oh, we've got comments. I got Peanut Butter Jelly Man. It looks like we're just jumping right in with the questions. So, hey, guys, how's everybody's day doing? I got a couple questions here already. Not a lot, but we'll see we'll see what happens. We'll pick up some steam. From Peanut Butter Jelly Man. Do you like Star Wars? Yes. And is there any chance I can convince you to read the old EU books, if you haven't already, the new Jedi Order series specifically? I have read some of the old EU. I say some. I read the Thrawn trilogy. I read the Darth Bane trilogy. I read Darth Plagueis. I read Young Jedi Knights. I read, what was that one before New Jedi Order? I think I read that entire series. And then I stopped reading the series after the invasion of the oh god, I forget the name of that race. Yogg-Sothoth or something. People who can like graft parts onto their body. Anyway, let's see who all we got here. We got Peanut Butter Jelly Man. We got G. What up, y'alls? We got Second Chance Adventures. He seems to think I'm going to be hyper because it's about to go down. Yes, I'm live. I did a thing. Yes, I did. So while we are on the topic of questions, how many physical manifestations of our questions do you think you could take in a fight? I don't know. 3. I'm going to go with 3. 3 is a solid number. Overly Average Ben. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know you're over in the UK, so it's got to be later than all get out. But you're busy reading them books, so it's fine. It's fine. Happy to have you there. Lore and Lullabies. Howdy. How's it going? Do I actually own a wizardly robe? I do have a Jedi Knight bathrobe. So I do have a robe, but I don't have a wizard robe. No, I don't. I have a wand, though. I've got Harry's wand. There we go. Oh, yes! Harry Potter. So I do have Harry Potter's wand. That is always in camera. Let's see. Thank you. I still can't believe it. Let's see. The Library of Alexandria, our Lord Zeus, is in the house. Who is the worst Mistborn character, and why is it Zane? I don't like Zane. Yeah, I don't like Zane. God, it's been 3 or 4 years since I've read that series. I've got it right here. But yeah, no, my favorite actually in the first book is Kelsier. And then yeah, so now Zane's in the second book, right? I believe Zane's in Well of Ascension. So yeah, Zane sucks. Zane's the worst. I'm glad that Zane is the worst. Let's see. Oh, that's great. I've been wondering on what was on that shelf. Ah, yes, it is a wand. I'm not going to show you that one because it's a little crude. It's a little gag gift my wife got me. But I've got a bookworm candle with like a wooden wick. Apparently, wooden wicks burn longer. Over here, anybody who watches Studio Ghibli will recognize this guy from Spirited Away. I completely forget his name right now, but you can see he's holding a little book. I got the Malcolm Reynolds gun. This is just polyurethane. I got that because I've got Butterfingers and I dropped it and shattered it to pieces in a store and then was forced to buy it. And then I've got my little canine up here. Canines from Doctor Who. I got my Tom Baker 4th Doctor right there. I got a little magnetic TARDIS that's supposed to float, but it's the magnet's like really finicky, so it's kind of hard to get it to float. And then I've got, this is an Enterprise, but it's from Discovery. So yeah, that's all the stuff on my shelf. No Face. Yes, you are right, Alan. It is No Face. Let's see. Will we see you in full wizard costume for the 1K celebration? You can probably count on it. So stay tuned, I guess. We're a little bit away from there, but maybe I'm not ruling it out. I'll probably try and rope Nico into it or something. Yeah, well, I'll make a thing of it. Epic is in fact in the building. We got Epic Tales. Who is that Funko Pop on your shelves? I do believe I've already said this, but because Alan asked, I will show one more time. I got a matching 4th Doctor and K9 because I love Doctor Who. In fact, I think I just swapped them, but it doesn't really matter. They're the same size. It'll work. Hola, Katie with an E. How you doing? Yeah, Noah's in the house. This is Noah's move. This is Noah's move, and he does it way better than I do. Those who read it must, oh, everyone who reads it must come first. I'm going to get it right someday, Noah. I'm going to get that right. All right, yep, there's Alan telling me it's No Face. All right, my boy looking pretty as ever. Thanks. Iron Rated Books, we got Daniel. Yes, it is No Face. Hi, Daniel. Yeah. Sorry, allergies. Love Spirited Away. Spirited Away is so good. The older Studio Ghiblis are just fantastic. I won't be reading, I won't be watching Earthsea though, because I just got this as payment today for some handyman work that I did, and I am absolutely excited because I've never read any Ursula K. Le Guin, and yeah, it is just something that I am super looking forward to. Okay, No Face. Do you happen to remember the first book to really grab you was? I remember I read a lot of Boxcar Children as a kid, Magic Treehouse. I read Beverly Cleary a lot. I then did I jumped from those type of books to like The Lord of the Rings, because I got The Hobbit when I was 11 for Christmas one year, and then like I was reading Harry Potter by like 3rd grade. I remember, I think I've told this story on the channel. The first time I remember hearing Harry Potter was we did like an elementary school lock-in in the school gym, and they read the first like couple chapters of Sorcerer's Stone to us before it was bedtime. Who is the best Doctor, and why is it number 10? Ooh, okay. This is a complicated answer. So David Tennant is amazing. So is Matt Smith, because Matt Smith was my first Doctor. He was the first one to pull me into the show. I remember seeing Christopher Eccleston, but he didn't grab me at the time. So then it wasn't until I think Matt's 3rd episode that I discovered Doctor Who. So Matt is actually my favorite modern, specifically for nostalgia reasons. David Tennant is fantastic, but I'm actually a huge lover of the classic series. So I really, really love the 2nd Doctor. I love the 4th Doctor. The 8th Doctor, even though he's only in the TV movie, I listen to a lot of Big Finish. So there's like an extra 400 or 500 something audio dramas voiced by the actual doctors. And there's just like 400 or 500 extra adventures. So on there, the 6th Doctor, who was awful on TV, really shined, and the 8th was given another shot. They expanded on the War Doctor on Big Finish. So they're actually just, they did a set with John Hurt before he died of 16 adventures on audio. 9 just came back to do 4 box sets of 12. And then Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, was just, he's everywhere on that range. But I've talked enough about Doctor Who. Sorry, if I start talking Doctor Who, we're not talking about books. I see the Book of Earthsea. Yes, right here. I kind of moved some books that I'm currently mad at off the shelf because I don't want to look at them. And I figured that I don't do a lot of front-facing books, so I would put Earthsea right there. Thank you, Philip. We have Philip Chase. Philip is one of my BookTube idols. He is just so smart, and I love just listening to the professor at work. Alan, that is your opinion. I didn't like his later seasons, but yeah, I do love Matt Smith mainly because he introduced me to the series. We got a lot of Doctor Who. Y'all are gonna make me happy if you turn this into a Doctor Who Q&A. Why do they call you the Doctor of BookTube? Is it because you're surgical with your reviews? I appreciate it. I still think I've got a lot of room to grow when I'm doing book reviews, mainly because I do basically stream of consciousness reviewing. And so literally I just talk and whatever happens to come out. I mean, I do some sort of organization of thoughts, but a lot of the times I am going to talk about either what I really loved or what bugged me. And I'm really good at pinpointing what I don't like about a book. So maybe that's why. Have you read or attempted to read any specific book or series that you just couldn't stand, whether it annoyed or repulsed you or for whatever reason? The last hate read that I did was The Poppy War. I'm currently, it just didn't sit well with me. I know it's a very, very popular series. A lot of people love it. Sorry, I just saw a comment, which, just because he said so, we now have a fez. Because Alan thinks fezzes are, in fact, not cool, and I have a tassel that says otherwise. But anyway, I'll take this off in a minute when I feel like it. Have you read or attempted to read? I'm currently reading for the readathon, The Forgetting Moon by Brian Lee Durfee. I'm currently that far into it. So I think I'm about 60% into that. And I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it at all. Okay, I'm tired of the fest now. But I'm not loving it. It's not hitting well with me. I'm pushing through right now because I've heard book 2 is good. I have the Earthsea anthology as well. Love it. I have not read any Ursula K. Le Guin. It is something that I didn't know about Ursula K. Le Guin until I was watching, I think it was Daniel Green. I was probably watching a Daniel Green video, and I think he's got that edition as well. And that's my first time like really finding out about Ursula K. Le Guin. I'm sure I'd heard the name, but I couldn't have associated it with anything. Does your ever expanding TBR comfort you or fill you with dread? Currently, right now, my TBR is on pause, adding, well, it's more of a dread thing, honestly. I have started basically getting audiobooks. Usually, I was using audiobooks to read other books for my TBR. Excuse me. And I'm now using audiobooks to listen to books that are currently on my TBR to help whittle that down a lot faster. Because since joining BookTube, I went from like 5 unread books to 180 or something like that. So I have a lot of reading to do. Chaz thinks fezzes are cool, even though he doesn't love Matt Smith. Well, this ended poorly. Who would win in a duel, me or Philip Chase? For this one, I am probably going to have to give it to Alan, specifically because he's the Latin teacher. He studies a lot of Roman culture. Who knows? Maybe he can fight. I'm sure that Alan probably has a sword or could get a hold of a sword. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Alan. Oh. And it looks like Philip has a Viking sword. So honestly, it really depends who has practiced more with their swords. So Alan may know the tactics, but in one-on-one combat, I mean, it's a Viking sword, guys. So do with that what you will. We got Slowly Read. We got Mark. Mark is one of the reasons I joined BookTube, honestly. From when he got a shout out from Mike's book reviews, I discovered Mark, and his channel growth has been absolutely fantastic to watch. He does that for his book hauls. He's got the mailman. I love the mailman. He's always introducing me to new books. In fact, because of the mailman, I got Michael R. Fletcher in these 2 gorgeous editions. which I will be showing a little bit more of in my upcoming book haul. But love Mark from Slowly Read. He's absolutely fantastic. Without him, I would not have found Nico, who then convinced me to start my channel. Oh, I see a hello. Oh, yep, we got Joanna. Yay! GDA. Oh, GPA emails. Oh, let's hope he didn't. Let's hope. Let's hope. He deserves a break. He's a hard-working teacher. You're right, Noah. Any respectable home library does require 25% of the books to be always unread. All right. Iron Rain of Books. Let's see. I read the first Earthsea book a while ago, but I have read it really fast because of a buddy read. Did not like it because of that. Need to do a reread. Well, hey, you can always jump into the Discord. Love to have you there. Actually, no, you are in the Discord. So I actually just created a Earthsea channel for when I eventually get to it, because that book is just too beautiful not to read. And I think it would be a crime to just keep that on my shelf and not read it for 2 years. So maybe we can do a buddy read. Who knows? You're right, Alan. Slowly Read is a boss. All right. I have a dragon cane I can duel with. Kelsier, eat your heart out. Oh, man. I remember when I was young, I used to think sword canes were the coolest. My dad owns a karate school. And so there was always katanas and just all sorts. There was the Chinese straight sword, and he always had those around. So those were kind of the swords that I grew up with. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, thankfully, Alan has not gotten any more emails. You heard it here. So far, he is email free. All right. Fletcher is great. Oh, hold on. The technology. There we go. Fletcher is great. We'll get back to that comment. Fletcher is great, and so that's why I'm looking forward to it, because I know he's a part of the Discord on Slowly Read, so you can jump in there and talk to him as well. There we go. Let's go back here. I want those editions. I'm reading She Dreams of Blood this month. You got to let me know how it is. I am dying to know. I'm hoping to get to it sometime before the end of the year, but the TBR is a mountain and my pickaxe is broken. Pete wants to know, boxers or briefs? Wouldn't you like to know? Do I love Bjork? I've listened to Bjork, I believe, is a musician. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've listened. I don't really listen to music anymore. I'm either too busy with audiobooks, audio dramas, and things of that nature. Usually I will listen to music if I need to either zone in or like calm down or relax or something like that. So I don't know if I love Bjork because it's been a long time. Buddy Narsil's in the house. Narsil's a mod over on the Wizardly Duo Discord. Oh, I jumped. Okay, here we go. My library is closer to 25% read at this point. I'm either doing something extremely wrong or really, really right. I'm leaning towards you were doing something really, really right. Really, really, really right. Because, I mean, frankly, books are just beautiful. I just have them to be surrounded by them, and I love them. And occasionally, I might even read one. Alan is a guy. All right. Oh, Narsil just finished The Gunslinger, so he's currently, I believe, starting his Dark Tower read. I have not read The Dark Tower in its entirety. I believe I got to book 5 or 6 in high school. But I recently just talked to my buddy who loaned them to me in high school, and he still has those same copies. So maybe I'll just reread it eventually. Who knows? I have so many books to read. It's a good problem to have. All right. Oh, it's just a cane, not a cane sword. I prefer to think it as a dueling cane. So you just want to hit people with a cane. Okay, that works. That works. Some people, may either challenge you to a duel or just want to be hit with a cane. I don't, but somebody might. Hey, James, let's see. Scott Lynch versus Joe Abercrombie or John Gwynne. Who's your favorite? I am not the biggest fan of heist books. So because of that, The Lies of Lockamora, I'm actually at 50% read on that. It's just kind of sitting on a table. Or no, actually sitting up there right now. It's not DNF'd. I just haven't gone back to it in months. Joe Abercrombie I like Joe Abercrombie's characterization, but sometimes I just don't agree with the things he does to like kind of shock you in the books. I know it's grimdark. I get it. I think there are other authors who do grimdark a little better than Joe Abercrombie. I said it. I'm sorry. He's a fantastic author, and I am going to be reading all of his books, and I don't think he's overrated or anything like that. I just don't think... I think that there are people who can do it better. Although Glokta is a literally 1 in a million character. So, I mean, take what you have there. But for me, it's John Gwynne. I absolutely love John Gwynne. The only reason I have not read this darn book right here is because I refused to let it jump the line, because when this book released, I was making my way through Of Blood and Bone. And this month for the Readathon, I'm doing A Time of Courage. So then I can feel free to move on chronologically through John Gwynne's works. So for me, it's John Gwynne, James. Dancer in the Dark. They must be talking about Bjork. Let's see. Josh. Hey, Josh, what's going on? Thank you. Chaz, have you read Dirk Ashton? I have not. I don't even know the name, but I've got a handy-dandy Post-it note right here, and so we're going to take a quick note, and we're going to look that up. Or you can tell me in the chat, and that can better inform me. Thank you very much. Ponderings of Pete. How dare you leave my question tantalizing unanswered like that? I don't know what you're talking about. I obviously answered that question, didn't I? Chase from Chase's Book Thoughts is here. Thank you. Let's see. Favorite all-time series. For me, that's always probably going to be The Wheel of Time. I love The Wheel of Time. I have read it, I think, twice all the way through. But I've read up to book 11 like 4 times. And yeah, basically I was reading it all through middle school, high school. And then when Robert Jordan died, I kind of, even though I didn't know who Brandon Sanderson was at that time, and so I was hesitant I didn't think there was another author who could successfully finish the series. And so I just kept rereading those same 11 books. And it wasn't until I think 2015 or 2017 that I read it through all from start to finish. So luckily, Brandon Sanderson is a fantastic author, and he successfully ended the series, other than a couple glitches in the Matrix. We got Reading Rainbow here. Hi. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. I can't believe I was so nervous to do this live stream, guys. I've been jittery all day. Let's see. Ponderings of Pete. I am one of those people with very few books read in my library, as we all well know. Pete, it's a good problem to have. I mean, frankly, it could be drugs. Listen, it could be drugs, Pete, okay? All right. Oh, it jumped again for me. Let's see. Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan is here. Thanks for stopping by. Patrick is the winner of the giveaway that I just did. I have already sent you your 50th anniversary edition of the Lord of the Rings. I look forward to hearing when it arrives. I have only about 5 unread books in my library. Wedding costs equals no money for books. The struggle is real. Weddings are expensive. You tell somebody wedding, and it's like a $30 or 30% upcharge. So I don't blame you, man. But congratulations on. I'm assuming that means you're getting married. So if so, congratulations. Is Stephen King's It a good read? I have not read Stephen King's It. It is one I've been wanting to get to. I've been kind of teasing myself. I keep trying to find I think it's the 1986 Viking hardcover edition in like good condition. And for some reason, those books have just been all abused. So I am kind of holding out until I can get a copy of that isn't just absolutely destroyed. But I don't know. The one book that I absolutely love by Stephen King that literally I would, in my mind, is a masterpiece is The Shining. But I can't comment on it. Let's see. Are you going to join Alan in his Sarah J. Maas read when you come forth. Listen, we're already number one, so I don't understand what you're talking about. And who is this Sarah J. Maas? And I mean, if he wants to buddy, I know who Sarah J. Maas is, but if he wants to buddy read a book, I mean, I'm always open to read with Alan. That buddy readings with Alan are kind of a dream come true. Let's see. We got Shadow of the Gods. Yes, I have it. I just can't read it yet. I do know that they use a lot of like Viking and Icelandic terminology in here, so I'm hoping that is there like a glossary in here, or is there anything that I really need to know? I know Philip probably knows. If Philip's still here, maybe he can refer me to a good dictionary to help understand the terminology in the series. Let's see. I'm gonna read the third book, my bro. Where should I start? Wizard's First Rule. Malice, Spine of the Dragon. Let's see. Daniel's actually the guy who's in high school. He's my high school best friend who lent me the Dark Tower series. So he's still got those editions. I would start with Malice. Definitely Malice. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yes. Dirk Ashton. I knew the name looked familiar, but it wasn't ringing any bells. I have tried Paternus. It didn't quite click with me. There's just certain phrases that immediately pulled me out of the immersion of it. I'm not going to say that live on stream just because it's a little juvenile. But maybe it might be something. I heard that the first book could be kind of rough and book 2 and 3 are pretty good. So I'm interested in it. I've just got to push myself to kind of get past the things that bug me. Jenniferobin, hi. Let's see. When are you continuing on with Hob? I just finished Ship of Destiny last week. Yeah, I literally finished it at like 11:30 on the 31st. Yeah, so like it barely made the cutoff for May. But I will probably continue on with 20 Man, which I already have 20 Man here. I will probably continue that sometime after September, I think. I need to kind of take a little bit of a Hob break because I finished Farseer in March. I read both Assassin's Quest and Ship of Magic, which are 2 incredibly large books. And then I read Mad Ship last month and Ship of Destiny, or no, Mad Ship 2 months ago and Ship of Destiny last month. And so that really kind of, it's very dense, very descriptive fantasy. So I just want to kind of some quick popcorn book reads to kind of keep myself from burning out. Even though I absolutely love Hobbs' writing. She's one of my new favorite authors since joining BookTube. Joanna, Andrew's Wizardly Reads. Holden or Miller? I'm assuming you mean Holden from Leviathan Wakes. I think you can keep this answer spoiler free. For me, it's Holden, even though I think Holden is just a dummy. Holden doesn't think his actions through. He just does it because he's got his own moral code and sense of justice. And Miller, I think Miller had the authors took Miller in a direction where, like, I started out really liking Miller because he had his own personal view of his own self-worth. And then that gets shaken a little bit. And from there, like, once he's shaken, he never really recovers. So because of that, I'm going to go Holden. Let's see. Oh, I jumped again. Hold on. Where did we go? Oh, there we go. I am getting behind on this chat, guys. I am sorry. Let's see. We got another one from Pete. Have you read any Terry Goodkind, by the by? Options, possibly strong. Do you have? Oh, opinions. I've read Wizard's First Rule 3 or 4 times when I was a teenager. So when I was younger, I really, really appreciated Wizard's First Rule, mainly because I wasn't super well read. So I'm not going to really bash on him. Wizard's First Rule, when you pull it apart analytically, is very derivative. And the series branches off further, but I mean, you quickly get into a lot of just Nick of Time, a lot of Gary Stu. You get, a lot of Chosen One trope. And so it is very tropey. It was very derivative. I would still probably read Wizard's First Rule again if I just needed something that, right now I'm currently doing. Oh, God, I have the horrible habit of stacking books. I'm currently reading, as a comfort read, Dragon Knight's Chronicles. But I had all the way up to his collection on Pillars of Creation, but I ended up unhauling them before I started my channel. Let's see. Audible King. Yes, I do like Harry Potter. I don't have any copies of Harry Potter. All of my childhood copies are now with my sister. So when we both, when I moved out of the house, I was kind of living in a very small apartment and I didn't have a bookshelf. And so I left them at home. And then when my sister kind of moved out of the house, my sister inherited the house. They just kind of stayed there. And then since then, my sister sold the house. They moved with her. At this point, it's been 10 years to her books. But yes, growing up, I did like Harry Potter. I actually had from, I believe, Chamber of Secrets. Like, I had a Hermione poster over my bed growing up. Like, I'm talking frizzy hair Hermione, not like the straight hair that Emma Watson did around, maybe it was Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, because it was right before Goblet of Fire is when she went straight hair. So yes, I like Harry Potter. I actually used to get in trouble for reading Harry Potter in elementary, mainly because it would be study time and I'd be reading. The teacher would take my book, but I had gone to the library, gotten a second copy. And so then it was one of those lift up desks with the tub. So I just reach in and continue reading. So I got in trouble all the time. Let's see. Do I like Harry Potter? Do I like Harry Potter? Yes and yes. Let's see. Philip says, I plan to read this Shining after I finish the Dark Tower series. I hear good things about it. Sorry, guys, I got a little tongue-tied. When you read The Shining, you need to look at it, because if you've seen the movie, it is very, very different from the movie. So I would highly recommend that you look at them as two separate entities, almost, because the Stanley Kubrick took his own license, his own creative license, and put his own spin on The Shining, and the book is very, very different. So I actually read the book first and then went and watched the movie because I had a girlfriend when I was 19 and in college, and she said The Shining was her favorite movie, and I just finished the book. I told her I was reading the book. She said it was her favorite movie, so we sat down, and I absolutely hated the movie. But if I went back and watched it now as its own separate entity, I would probably enjoy it. The lack of a glossary in Shadow of the Gods is a travesty. Well, oh no. Philip says, I use my old Norse dictionary while reading The Shadow of the Gods. I may have to go and get one of those. Let's see. Gee, let me know what I need to say on stream. We'll see if I agree. Let's see. We've got Chris Laubach. I hope I said your name right. Being a new reader to fantasy, it is so freaking overwhelming. I have to catch up. You know what? The problem is, Chris, is just enjoy it while you're in the moment. You're never going to catch up. This isn't like it was in the 70s where it was kind of a niche thing. Like, there was a lot of fantasy. But recently, I mean, there's probably like five fantasy books coming out a week. And it's just impossible. So just find books that make you happy. I mean, make a TBR, but for sure. But I've already accepted the fact that I'm never going to catch up. I will die with series unread. It's just inevitable. I think everybody does, but unless you are just a speed reader and can read like 100 pages an hour or something like that. I don't know. Do you go to school for good and evil, or do you like the school for good and evil? I don't understand the question. Is this an Audible book? Please clarify. What is my favorite bird? It is probably a cardinal. I always freak out when I see cardinals. I love the red color of the bird. That it would be my like regular bird. My bigger birds, I like hawks and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna say the cardinal, which is my state bird. All right. Oh, it jumped again.
He said he knew I would say Malice. Yeah, you finally finished Blackwing. I actually went on camera and said you probably finished Blackwing before you did. So yeah, I felt a little silly, but I'm glad you're finally done with it, and you're booking it through Royal Assassin, man. You definitely took your time through Assassin's Apprentice, which no problem with that. But if you're already halfway through it, I mean, it's not a small book. So kudos. Yeah. All right. Why do you think First Law is better than the Wheel of Time? How dare you? Ugh. Really? You really want to go there, Narsil? Come on. Come on, man. You know how I'm going to react to that. What is this? What is that? That's Wheel of Time right there, okay? Yeah, no. In fact, if you can kind of see, there's all my hardcovers of Wheel of Time right up there with my Dune and all that. So, no, it's going to be Wheel of Time every day, all day. No, thank you. We got Drew from Drew's Book Reviews. Do I read any nonfiction? And if so, which topics do I enjoy reading about? No, I do not read nonfiction. Typically, if the last nonfiction book that I think I read to completion, usually I like historical books. So anything that's going to teach me history, or I like biographies as well. I remember growing up, one of my favorite books was I Am Spock by Leonard Nimoy. And it kind of chronicled, basically, he had written a book in the 80s called I Am Not Spock. And basically it was because he didn't understand the fame and how it was going to affect his life and his career and get typecasting. And so he kind of wrote a book to say, hey, I'm not Spock, I'm Leonard Nimoy. And there was massive backlash over it. And he had tried to distance himself from the character. And then later in his life, during the filming of the movies, he re-embraced it and kind of felt a little bit of sorrow. Or no, I believe this is after the movies, that he had tried to do that. And he kind of refound his love. So he wrote this book as kind of a love letter to the character Spock. So I love biographies of people who inspire me. Leonard Nimoy was one of my favorite actors growing up. I absolutely love Star Trek, the original series. My house was a Wars and a Trek house. So let's see. From Lauren Lullabies, what is a series you started and then had to binge because it was so good? Right here, Faithful and the Fallen. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. I probably read that in 3 months, which I was juggling, I think, 4 series at the time, and I still managed to read that in 3 months. I absolutely love the first 4 of the Faithful and the Fallen. Malice is a little rough, but yeah, no, this was absolutely an amazing, amazing delight. Narsa wants to know if I think Bigfoot is real. Listen, I don't know, but I do know that there are pictures out there in the world, and who doesn't want a little bit of fantasy in their life, in their real life? So let's say Bigfoot is real. I'm not going to go into the woods and start going, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. But sure, why not? Bigfoot can be real. Let's see. If you had a dragon, what would you name it? I believe I've answered this one. I'm going to go with Daffodil, just because it's so off-brand, and I think it would be kind of quirky. Let's see. I want to know your thoughts on the Ryra Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan. I enjoyed Ryra Revelations, but I had very, very specific gripes with it. Specifically, it's, I believe, in Persepolis, which I think is book 6. I had a lot of issues. Additionally, it isn't the mysteries in the fantasy in that book, while well written, are not very deep. Like, if you're paying attention throughout the series, you will, most of the twists and turns will be revealed to you. Maybe not early, but if you will pick up on a reveal like anywhere from a book early to like 50 to 100 pages earlier than I think Michael J. Sullivan intended you to. That said, they are very, very enjoyable reads. Royce and Hadrian have a very, very fantastic dynamic. And yeah, I absolutely love their found family. And I really, really do recommend you read Ryra Revelations. My gripes aside, I'm just a picky, crotchety 30-year-old guy with Wi-Fi. So that's going to be my thoughts there.
What is my least favorite trope? Probably, I'm not a huge fan of love triangles. Usually, and in fact, yeah, no, we're gonna say love triangles. Love triangles bug me. What's the Dragon Light Chronicles? I imagine you mean the don't fall. I don't like damaging my books. If this is what you mean, Daniel, Dragonlance Chronicles. This is from 1984. I think I have that right. And basically, if you've heard of Forgotten Realms, which is set in the world of D&D, this is the other one. So Dragonlance is I believe, I don't know if it's based solely off D&D. I do know that there is an old let's see, when third edition. I think there's an old third edition module with Dragonlance, so you can actually play in the world. But essentially, this is just a series of books, classic story-based fantasy. It's just really kind of popcorn adventures. But it's a lot of fun. I read like 27, 28 of these, maybe 30 of them back when I was younger. This is a reread for me. But that was always available at my public library when I was a kid, so I loved reading Dragonlance. But it is basically a D&D based fantasy story. Let's see. She was only Evie. The Gift Queen is in the house. Why do I hate Tasselhoff Burfoot so much? Listen, Evie, you know I love Tasselhoff Burfoot because he is the hero of the Lance. And frankly, he saves them all so many times. He is never appreciated just because he happens to have sticky fingers and he has a curious personality. People want to hate on Tasselhoff Burfoot, but Tasselhoff Burfoot is the best. Let's see. Alan disagrees, but frankly, he is entitled to his wrong opinion. Have I read Neil Gaiman's Sandman? Where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, God. Okay, there we go. I have not read Neil Gaiman's Sandman. All I have read from Gaiman is American Gods, which I didn't really love. I had really, really mixed opinion on what did I just say? American Gods. Sorry. And yeah, so I have also read Good Omens, but I think that's it. No, I've read some short story Doctor Who books that he wrote, or short stories in the world of Doctor Who that he has written as well. But I have not read Sandman. Let's see. You know what? I constantly forget that penguins are a bird, and I shouldn't because the hat that I have right here is in fact a penguin. So yes, this is a penguin's household if you follow hockey. So they are a very, very good bird. Katie, without an E, has a parrot. And yes, I love parrots. I do not have any birds. I have a cat and I have a dog, and they are very, very energetic animals. So would I like to have a parrot? Probably not. Mainly because I don't know if I could live with the fear of it flying away and being heartbroken. Let's see. We need to hear your very juvenile phrase that turned you off of the Paternus series. It is a line of text referring to a baby boy's privates. I'm not going to... yeah. Do I like The Hobbit? Yes, I love The Hobbit. I have probably read The Hobbit 5 or 6 times. When I was younger, I actually had the mass market paperback, and I loved The Hobbit. I read it until it fell apart. I didn't actually read The Lord of the Rings until I was in high school. No, is that right? I could have just lied. No, I lied. I believe I tried the Silmarillion in high school. And I read The Hobbit probably 5 or 6 times before I ever got to Lord of the Rings, though. So, I mean, yeah. No, I love The Hobbit. It's a great, great book. I am very, very excited to do a reread. I've actually got the illustrated editions illustrated by Alan Lee right there in hardcover. They're fantastic, and you can get them, I think, off of Amazon or Blackwell's for like $140. Jenniferobin, I recommend the Book of Swords trilogy by Fred Saberhagen. No one I know has read these, and I need to talk to somebody about it. Well, I am writing that down. Book of Swords. Fred Saberhagen, because I will forget if I don't write it down. All right, thank you very much for the recommendation. We got Maza in the house. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm happy to have you. Let's see. Drew says, my dragon's name is Dragon. I think dragons are mystical, magical creatures with very, very, very high intelligence. So I don't think it would appreciate you just calling it Dragon. Let's see. Maza found... Oh, you found, let's see, the third book. So you found Ship of Destiny in hardcover. That is fantastic. I've got them in these UK paperback editions, which for 900 pages, the spine is still intact. And, I mean, I read this solidly for 11 days without cracking the spine. So I am very, very happy with these sets. I'm always terrified I'm going to crack a spine. It's one of my pet peeves. But cool find, man. Great score. Let's see. Drew's Book Reviews. Andrew's Wizardly Reads. Which booktube channel do you think is the most underrated channel other than yours? Let's see. I actually, well, it's funny because I tend to surf for the booktube newbie tag to kind of find newbies, but it's funny because you can kind of tell when somebody's going to shoot up really, really fast. So, I mean, recently started as Dominish from Dominish Books. He's a UK-based booktuber. He's on my Discord. He's absolutely fantastic, and I think his channel is certainly going places. There's Brighton Bookish. I think she's at 50 or 60 subscribers. She is fantastic. She's just getting started. So there's just tons of underrated channels. A lot of the channels at my level at like 350 to 500 subs are super underrated. Chase from Chase's Book Thoughts. Just go look at his shelves. Oh, they're pristine. They're fantastic. Just the backdrop alone is worth tuning into his content. So I am subbed to more booktubers than I can keep up with. Basically, I love giving people subs to try and push the algorithm to get their content out there. I will occasionally just cycle through the people I'm subscribed to just check out their content and try and keep up. But yeah, there are just dozens upon dozens of underrated channels. Sarah Bright, what is it about the Wheel of Time that you love so much? Well, when I first picked it up, I've told this story many times on my channel. It was just it fell out of a friend's locker and he let me borrow it. But immediately it just kind of grabbed me because it was so grand in scope that it took me, I think my first read through took me like 5 months of just dedicated reading. So I love being immersed in the world. It was just so rich in detail and descriptive, which I know can be a turnoff to a lot of people. But I really enjoyed my first time through. It was combat like I'd never seen before, a magic system like I'd never seen before. It was just very satisfying. Oh, we got David Decero in the house. Thank you. What is my favorite fantasy short story? Ooh. Let's see. Fantasy short story. Asking me with some questions that because I don't read a lot of short stories, I read more novellas. There is one that my buddy Nico on Nico's Book Reviews read on his channel, and I'll update the description later with that video so people can check that out. But he got permission from the author to read a short story about a golem that breaks its programming, and I thought that was really good. So that's the first one that comes to memory when you say short story. I could probably give you a better answer if you said novella. Let's see. G, what is the book series that you are most excited about getting an illustrated special edition? Well, Like, is this something that I already have? Because I just got Earthsea. I just got, I've got Assassin. I've got the Farseer. I just got the Lord of the Rings. You know what? I would love for Sanderson. I know he's got the leather-bound special editions of the Stormlight Archive, but if once the 5th book is out, if we could get illustrated editions of those, I would buy those in a heartbeat. There is just so much great art that can be found on Stormlight Archive. There's a lot of bad art too, but the fan art alone has enough inspiration that people just love the Stormlight Archive. I would love to see an illustrated edition of that. So right now I have most of my illustrated editions, so I don't have any. This was the outlier right there. Earthsea was. Ponderings of Pete. Dragonlance was indeed originally a D&D setting first, but like Forgotten Realms was Eberron, which also has novels set in their settings. Oh, okay. I vaguely knew that, but thank you very much, Pete. Let's see. Daniel, I gave you the Dark Tower, and he gave me the Dark Tower. I gave him the Wheel of Time. And yes, you still need to finish it because it's been 13 years, and I'm getting impatient to hear your thoughts. I know Daniel IRL, so I'm just giving him some flack. Nico says, "Oh God, I failed. I'm so late." You're fine. You're fine. I said I would keep talking for a while. So yeah, let's just keep it on rolling. Go Pittsburgh Penguins. That's right. That's right. You should see upstairs. My wife actually has jerseys on the walls. So there's Pittsburgh Penguins stuff all over this house. All right. Nico is throwing his favorite bird into the mix. He says toucans are the best bird and not the penguin. I can't eat that cereal anymore because it's just way too high in sugar. And if I start eating sugar, I'm just going to start. I won't stop. I absolutely love sugary treats. Yes, I did know that Gaiman did write The Doctor's Wife. But he also wrote like physical like stories and short stories as well. I think set during the classic series. There are short stories. I don't think he's done any full-length novels or anything, but I do know Gaiman is a huge Whovian. I just completely butchered that. Whovian, not Whovian. Whovian. All right, let's see. What are the odds of us seeing a Wizarding Hour live? I might do a Wizarding Hour skit. I've actually had one kind of kicking around in my brain for a little bit. But live? No one wants to see my wife kill me at 3 o'clock in the morning live. No one wants to see that. Let's see. Oh, we jumped. Hold on. From Jenniferobin 72. Which series or author do you wish was talked about more on BookTube? Right now, actually, I want to hear more about Adrian Tchaikovsky. I have been slowly collecting his works. I know Alan did recently read Guns of the Dawn, and then he picked up. It's got a green cover and it's something Echo. I've actually got both of those books based on just off of that on the way. I had a copy of Guns of the Dawn that I bought from Better World Books. It came completely destroyed. You'll see that in an upcoming video. I actually can basically do the Braille sound on camera. But Adrian Tchaikovsky or Django Rexler, I would like to hear more about. For her, Jennifer says she wants to hear more about Kevin Hearn. I just picked up A Plague of Giants. I have it on my Kindle. I read Iron Druids 1 through 8. And then I kind of got a little burnt out on the series just because it's so all over the place. I do like Kevin Hearn. He does humor fantastic. His character work is really good. And he can get really, really zany. So I do like Iron Druid. I know he has started writing additional books since wrapping up Iron Druid in that world following a new character. So I do eventually plan one day to read books 9 staked and then, or is book 8 staked? I don't know. I stopped at staked, so I'm 10% into staked. But it's been a couple years, so I basically need to restart that book from the start. Oh, we got Alex. Alex says he just stopped by to say congrats on the growth. Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate you stopping by. Drew's Book Reviews wants to know Edgar Allan Poe or H.P. Lovecraft. I've not actually read any H.P. Lovecraft. My brother-in-law is a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan. Like they have like Cthulhu plushies and stuff in their house. I did play the tabletop game Arkham Asylum. I've done the pen and paper, and I've done the board game. So I do like Arkham Asylum, but for me, it's always going to be Edgar Allan Poe. I love The Raven. I love The Pit and the Pendulum. I love The Telltale Heart. I'm blanking on the rest that I love. But yes, of The Cask of Amontillado, I love Edgar Allan Poe. Nico has it right here. He says the story was a matter of interpretation by Elizabeth Tickner. He says it's also available to read for free on her website. I believe that's an answer to David Decero's question. But yes, Nico also did on his channel, which you should definitely go check him out and sub as well, because he got me into BookTube. So I'm gonna definitely say anybody who's not subbed to Nico's channel, go give him some love. It was such a good short story. I really enjoyed listening to him read it. Let's see. Nico says Sanderson is planning on doing some type of Stormlight art book between books 5 and 6. I want the entire Stormlight archive to have an illustrated edition. I need it in my life. Even though they're already massive, you can make these big thick tomes, and I'll probably buy them as long as they're not $250 to $100 a piece. I will pay up like $70 to $80 a piece for something like that. You are correct. You are definitely correct, but I think I remembered pretty well. Rub it in, Pete. I know it was $250, and I just can't. I can't justify that price for books, for the Kickstarter, and it's just not something I can bring myself to do. Typically, I think the most I've paid for a book up to this point is $60. I paid $60 for a hardcover. Yes, Drew. Pittsburgh is out of the playoffs. I think so. Yeah. I think the Pens are done. Let's see. Oh, we got Orion. He's on Path of Daggers. Working a little more on Wheel of Time every day. I got the prequel and the compendium sitting with the collection as well. I actually read New Spring recently. I actually hadn't read New Spring, mainly because it wasn't necessary to the story. It's just a little extra flavor to the series. So I read that I think before I started my channel. But good job. I mean, just keep on chugging through. Path of Daggers is... Okay, you are in the slog, so just push through. Just push through. Let's see. And he's going to keep making more, which excites me, so I'm going to collect them all by the time I'm 60. It's going to take that long, Pete. It really is. Okay, so how do I get over the Wheel of Time hump the first time? Path of Daggers is a struggle. Yeah, it definitely touches on some stuff that isn't for everybody. He goes in and fills in a lot of the stuff that, characters that we hadn't seen in a while. Mainly, I was just happy to have Wheel of Time at the time. So I wouldn't force yourself through it. Don't hate read it. But I think what I did, I dedicated like 2 to 3 chapters a day. And then I would just finish the books that way. And so, when I was reading them, all I was reading was Wheel of Time. So it can be difficult if you're juggling like 3 or 4 books and you're trying to get through the slog. But if you have another book that you are enjoying more, maybe read like 1 or 2 chapters a day and then read the other book that makes you more excited. So, that way you'll still make your way through, but you don't have to dedicate like hours and hours of reading, depending on the length of the Wheel of Time chapter, because I think some of them can get a little bulky. But so like set yourself like a limit of, I'll read 40 or 50 pages today, and then read something else. That would be my suggestion if you're really, really struggling. Emus are the superior bird. I love how this turned into a bird discussion. Let's see. Ooh, 100% want to see a wizardly or wizarding hour skit. Yeah, I've got some ideas. It really comes down to shooting it, mainly because it comes down to getting good camera angles and things of that nature. So I'm kicking some ideas around. We'll see what happens. Chaz, a Whovian is a fan of Hugh of the Hand from Deathgate Cycle. I just saw that Alan is going to start reading this series this month, and I wasn't expecting him to start that so soon, so I may be forcing that into my TBR with Dragonwing, because I do have all 7. You recommended them to me, and I went out and bought them, and then I know Evie from She Is Only Evie also wanted to, or just recently purchased the majority of Deathgate Cycle, so there could be a possible buddy read there. I'll try and put some pressure on them. But yes, I do want to read the Deathgate Cycle very, very much. How do I get you to read an Austen novel? Send it to me. Send me an Austen novel and I'll read it. Plain and simple. It may take me a while, but I'll get to it eventually. I am very, very, very susceptible to guilt. So if you send me a book and then say, why haven't you read this? You can guilt me into reading it. Let's see. Oh, Drew says that he has got a video of the Telltale Heart dropping next week. I cannot wait to see that because it is one of my favorites. Let's see. Oh, we jumped. Okay, hold on. I did not know that they had different sizes of the hardbacks of Wheel of Time until I have been buying them on eBay. What you are getting is you have the regular hardcover, and then I believe you have the book club edition. The book club edition is usually going to be smaller, and it's going to be a little bit more fragile. So the smaller ones are, I believe, book club editions. There was a whole, if anybody knows Kevin, whenever Kevin goes active, you can, he's like KXU65, I think is his handle. He's read like 4,000 books, but early in, when I first joined Nico's Discord before we started being co-admins, which we then later added Walker from Walker Writes 7, who's also a fantastic creator and a really, really good friend. And we got explained that basically usually a smaller hardcover is a book club edition. Let's see. Evie says, Deathgate Buddy Read started out with Alan per my suggestion after I got the series. So join us. Absolutely. I am down to join. Joanna is heading out. Congrats again, Andrew. Thank you. I know you've had a rough day. So I hope everything works out, and thank you for stopping by. We got my buddy Raul from Raul Reads. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. We've got Drew. Drew is heading out. Thank you. We'll see what happens. If the growth stays consistent, it may happen sooner rather than later. We got Peanut Butter Jelly Man. What is the most disappointing book you have ever read? Right now for me, mainly because I'm reading it in the moment, it's going to be disappointing. I'm taking it as disappointing as it's a letdown, but it is not something that I hate. And that's going to be The Forgetting Moon. I was expecting to absolutely love this book. Right now, it's sitting at like a 2-star for me. But I'm pushing through because I heard the second book is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see. Bright and Bookish. We got Bright and Bookish in the house. She is just catching up. Absolutely. I absolutely love the content. She actually runs a D&D campaign. And maybe we can trick her into doing a online D&D, running an online D&D session for just booktubers. Who knows? She says her group won't play with her remotely, so maybe we got ourselves a dungeon master. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Probably not, but it's nice to dream. Chaz, thank you for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. Maza Booktuber, when are we going to collaborate? As soon as you are ready, you let me know, and I will make it happen. I absolutely love collaboration, even if I have to wreck my TBR to do so. So you let me know, and I am down to clown. Let's see. How dare you say, oh, wait, I thought you were going to say Dragonlance. Evie, I don't know what I said. I was just talking. So you let me know what I said. And that's it, guys. It looks like I finally caught up to the chat. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. We got any more questions? Anything? Keep them coming. Oh, disappointing read. Yeah, no, Evie, I love Dragonlance. Now, the Forgetting Moon is it is not what I thought it would be. I don't understand that question. All right. Any other questions? I didn't mean to catch up so fast. I was behind for most. Yeah, quick, everyone, spam questions. I'll answer them. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the stream, I'll answer boxers or briefs from Pete's question. I probably won't, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, I mean, hey guys, let me know. Let's see, Patrick Ryan. Oh, what am I drinking? I am just drinking. Aha. Oh, getting it in frame. Aha. It's sparkling water, peach and honey flavor. So yeah, I don't really drink a lot of soda, mainly because it gives me headaches and all that stuff like that. So I stick to sparkling water because I get the sensation of a soda, but it's water. All right. Patrick Ryan, need to pick my next read. Would you go with Jade City, The Poppy War, or Red Rising? The only one of the, well, I've read two of these. One of them I did not like. So I would definitely go Red Rising. However, be aware that Red Rising is very much a setup book. I actually view Red Rising as almost just a giant prologue to the original trilogy. It is not indicative of the entire trilogy. Golden Sun and Morning Star are fantastic and far superior, in my opinion. I'm actually reading Iron Gold this month. I was supposed to read it last month on Alan's channel, and I just didn't get to it. So that is much to my shame. Let's see. Since when don't you eat sugary breakfast cereal? What's your favorite cereal brand? Or bland cereal? Oh, man, I usually eat like Raisin Bran or what's that one Kroger one where they have the annoying commercial? I forget it. I don't know. But usually it's like Special K, stuff like that. I eat boring cereal. It's just, it is what it is. What is my favorite underrated fantasy? Underrated fantasy. Right now, I would probably say I really loved Larry Correa's Grim Noir Chronicles. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's kind of a noir, alternative universe fantasy novel, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. In fact, it addresses the fact that it is like an alternate dimension, and through a really creative way. That series was, nobody talks about it, and it was really good. Another one is Alex Verus. Dresden kind of steals all the limelight when it comes to urban fantasy. And I think Alex Verus, which is getting ready to wrap up, I think, with 12 books. I need to read the most current one. It doesn't get enough love. Kate Daniels doesn't get a lot of love. Even though it's marketed as romance, it's actually urban fantasy with like 2 romance scenes in it, which you can easily just skip past because, you know, it depends on your comfort level with sex scenes. In terms of traditional fantasy, though, I would say right now, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. We're actually getting ready to do a channel read-along of Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, I believe, starting in August. I'll also be reading Priory of the Orange Tree as a buddy read in August as well, because yay! And I just keep buying books, and like I was like, hey, anybody want to read this? And everyone's like, I need to read it. So I decided to make it an unofficial buddy read. But yeah, I would say Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. You know, A Song of Ice and Fire gets all the love. But literally, George R.R. Martin said, I actually was inspired a lot by Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. So Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn is the daddy of A Song of Ice and Fire, in my opinion. So yes, I love Ted Williams. In fact, I just bought his 4 Otherland books in hardcover, and I'm waiting for them to arrive. 2 of them will be signed, and I'm so excited. All right. I think I've given the chat a little bit of a chance to catch up. Let's see. Orion, D&D, you say. I have been thinking of a go west idea. Let me know. I mean, I'm currently in a D&D campaign that's been going remotely for 2 years. Well, we're on our second campaign, actually, in 2 years, I think. Year and a half. I don't know how long it's been. Time is a thing that I don't understand. What is my sleeping schedule like? I'm usually out by like 11:30. I wake up at 6:37. So that's really, and then, typically I'm up reading. A lot of the times I'll be doing reading sprints in the Discord on voice channel with Stacy. Stacy's the reading sprint moderator. And she's absolutely fantastic and a delight to do reading sprints with. So always feel free to jump in and join us for reading sprints. It's a lot of fun. Usually I do those on the weekend. But after that, I usually just go straight to sleep. Let's see. Daniel Jenkins, I don't know what to ask. Who is your least favorite character ever? Oh, that is a hard question. It's either going to be the Satrap from Live Ship Traders or Regal from Farseer. They're both garbage human beings, and even as villains, I still want to punch them in the face. I don't like petulant villains, so that really, really bugs me. So, I mean, they're designed to be hated, so I feel like that could be an easy answer, but that is my answer. All right, let's see here. From Raul Reeds, who's your favorite Texan booktuber? That's dangerous, Raul. That's dangerous. My moderator, Walker, lives in Texas. So I'm going to say both you and Walker Wright 7 are my favorite Texan booktubers. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. If you live in Texas and I absolutely love your channel, you're my secret favorite, and don't tell Raul or Walker. Let's see. Nico wants to know, am I going to be having to wait 13 years for you to finish The Crown of Stores like you've been waiting on your friend to read Wheel of Time? I have read King's Dragon, and luckily I have decided that I think I am going to switch to audio. Even though I have them on hardcover, I find it easier to crank through audiobooks while I'm working. So I will be proceeding to Prince of Dogs. Hopefully it is the last book slated for the readathon. It didn't make my readathon video, but I'm hoping to use it for Zeus. So we will see if I can slide that in there, because go Team Zeus! All right. Ponderings of Pete. How do you determine your TBR? Planner or fly by the seat of your pants? So I've actually got stacks over here. Typically, I will look at a bookshelf at my current ongoing series. Last I looked, I was at 11 ongoing series. I think I've wrapped up. I'm either wrapping up or have wrapped up 2 or 3 of those. But I tend to revolve my TBR around series I'm already reading, and then I will add in another series or book once I have finished that. A lot of the times, though, I do mood read. I'm not strictly a mood reader, but if I am not clicking with a book and I don't want to force my way through it and it risk burning out, I will mood read. And that's how I read Nightfall by Daniel Barnett. Literally, Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative recommended it, gave it really, really high praise, and she was ranting and raving about book 5 and how she needed somebody to talk to about it. And there was no way I was going to get there in time. But I did pick up the first book, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So, yes, I do occasionally mood read, but I usually am a planner. Nico says, what book that is within reach has your favorite cover? Oh, that's mean. Actually, right now, just because it's brand new and it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, guys. Look at that. I mean, it's totally beautiful. It's really, really cool. It's really, really pretty. I've also got, y'all know I love blue and black covers. Don't fall, no face. So I've got a blue and black Matthew Ward Legacy of Steel. I've got Gutter Prayer right here, the blue, the black, the gutter. You can just stay front facing. I've also got Dune. This is a gorgeous copy of Dune. I've got my. I mean, it's I can't pick. I'll just keep talking and pulling books until I have to completely redo my bookshelves, and I appreciate that, Nico. I know what you're trying to do. Let's see. Iron Rated Books. How did you know what you wanted to do in your life, like career-wise? I actually am not doing what I wanted to do in life career-wise. I just kind of fell into a job. So that said, I mean, if another opportunity came up, I would gladly take it. Initially growing up, at first I wanted to be a writer. If y'all interact with me on Discord, you know my punctuation is atrocious. But you know that there are things that I wanted to do that I just ended up not doing. You know, I became that practical adult, and I just went and got a bachelor's degree and then went and got a job to pay the bills. So I am not in a dream career or anything like that, but I have a dream hobby, and so that's almost as good. Let's see. She was only Evie. Have you read the rest of the Dune Chronicles or just the first book? I can't remember. Are you joining our read-along of the series starting in August? I have yet to decide. I probably won't start in August, but I will start. I'm willing to discuss in August, Evie. I do want to start with my Messiah in September, though. So I will be joining once you reach Messiah. But I am more than willing to be a lurker like Alan in our Dragonlance read-along and talk to people about it there. Happy to. Let's see. We're talking about cereal again. It must have been when I was talking about it. He loves grape nuts and cornflakes. So actually, yeah, those work for me. I still love. I love Life too. Life is a really good one. Life Original, mwah. Or Life Cinnamon. Yeah, Life cereal is pretty good. May not be the most boring of cereal, but it is what it is. I've overscrolled again, guys. All right. Do you tend to prefer? Hi, Elizabeth. Do you tend to prefer reading more recently published books, or do you ever feel drawn to older published books, not including still running series? So typically, right now, I am actually reading more backlisted fantasy than newer releases. It's one of the reasons I don't participate in NetGalley as of yet, because the older hit fantasy that I want to read, like, I mean, I've got Raymond E. Feist right here. This is 20, 30 years old. I've got The Tales of Earthsea. That's old. All of these are pretty much backlisted. I've got Terry Brooks right here. I've got, Discworld up there. I've got Malazan down here. So I've got a lot of series that are 10 plus years and older. Occasionally I will give into hype and read new stuff. It really depends. A lot of the times I like to focus more though on older fantasy. And then as time goes on and I've read the older stuff, I can then start to, I know I said I can't catch up, get a little closer to being caught up. Let's see. What are some of your favorite RPGs? Let's see. I do love me some Mass Effect. I do consider Mass Effect an RPG. Dragon Age is another great one. BioWare used to kill it back in the day. I don't know what happened. I loved Final Fantasy VII. So I did used to love some turn-based RPGs. Dot Hack GU from PS2. I used to play that on PS2. I really, really loved that. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, I think is what it was. Yeah, Dark Alliance was a really good one growing up. And then Gauntlet. I really enjoyed Gauntlet Dark Legacy as a kid. Yeah, a lot of great RPGs. I'll be here all night if I just keep reciting RPGs. I like the Nathan Drake collection. That's really action adventure, so it's not really an RPG. But yeah. Nico agrees with me. I'm getting tongue-tied, guys. Regal and Satrap Cosgo are the worst. Brittany, Athena wants to know my favorite Terry Pratchett or Discworld book. Currently, right now, it's only Guards because I've only read Guards and Men-at-Arms, and I do think Guards is the superior book. I am reading Feet of Clay, I believe it's the third City Watch book. I believe next month. So I will get back to you if that one surpasses. I also have the Death Collection back here as well. And then I will get the Witches and the Rinswind books once I am done with everything on that shelf. In that hardcover, because I just absolutely love them. Let's see. Yeah, I will definitely get to Crown of Stars when I can. I still remember the end of King's Dragon, and we still need to do another spoiler talk for Prince of Dogs, which is way overdue. That's like 2.5 months overdue. But we'll get to it eventually. Dune. Yes, I have read Dune. It is a very pretty edition. Did I put it back? It's got this is like $26 on Amazon, so it's very accessible. It's got the blue sprayed edges for the spice eyes, and it's just, let's go ahead and get it open. It's got this fantastic slipcover right here. Can I get that on frame? And then stamped on it, it's got this great gold cover or edge, and then it's got the ring right here, and then it says "Fear's the Mind Killer" embossed on the cover. It's kind of hard to see in this light, though. Let's see. Nah, he said he thought Within Reach would make it easier. It didn't. It didn't. I keep all my prettiest books behind me, so yeah. Plus, all books are pretty. Don't hate on the books. All right, looks like I'm getting caught up again, guys. What recent read would you be most surprised by? Like, with a plot, were you most surprised by? Like, with a plot twist, or you didn't think you would like it, but you ended up loving it, etc. Most recent read. Dune is one of the ones I didn't think I would like. I actually tried it in high school. I read that in November, though, so I wouldn't count that as recent. I don't know. That's a difficult question. Probably. I was really surprised by Blood of Empire by Brian McClellan. He's now officially one of my favorite authors. And yeah, the way he ends the series is just, it's so amazing. A lot of people haven't read Powder Mage, even though you totally should. Powder Mage is good, but Of Gods and Powder, or Gods of Empire, I forget the actual name of the trilogy, is a sequel trilogy set 10 years later. And I would say it's 3 to 5 times better than the original trilogy. It's just far, far, far and away superior. So I was thoroughly, pleasantly surprised because basically Brian McClellan kind of subverts your expectations. And you are watching this, or you're reading it, and you're thinking this is just more and more of the same. And then about halfway through the first book, he just flips the script on you. And from then on, it's just fantastic. G, thank you for hanging around so long. Go ahead and get some sleep, man. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sure you have been long gone, but I appreciate you stopping by because it looks like I am about 8 minutes behind on the chat. Daniel Jenkins, I am on book 8 of The Wheel of Time. I'm hitting an impatient wall. How do you deal with that sort of thing when it happens? A lot of the times, if I get impatient with a book, I put it down and I move on to another book. I am always juggling 3 books at once. So I either have 2 physical books, or a physical and a Kindle, or an audiobook going at any given time. So if something's frustrating me, I will move on to something else to when it's not frustrating me, or I'll do a format shift of where if it's bugging me to read it, I'll switch to audio or things of that nature. So maybe just either use white noise to kind of cut out any external stuff, or switch formats is what I would recommend. Yeah, I know Pete loves Feist. Baldur's Gate for the win. I need to play Baldur's Gate 3, but I haven't touched a video game since my child was born. And so that's been about a year now. And it's just wild. I completely lost the time and the willpower to just sit there and play video games, because usually I'm either cleaning up or taking care of or preparing food or reading or things of that nature. So I kind of gave up the hobby. I'm sure I'll pick it back up sometime later, but it has been a while. So I must be lagging super far behind. Oh, nope. Looks like we are caught up, guys. We got John from Hey Y'all Listen Up. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I still can't believe it has happened so quickly. It has been an absolute blast. Do we got any more questions, guys? I'll keep talking if you keep asking. I know it was a little bit of a delay, so I'll give you all some time to consider some questions. But yeah. Or just tell me how your week's going. Tell me what you're reading, things of that nature. I'm willing to just sit here and chat. It doesn't have to be a Q&A. It can be whatever. Pete, thank you for stopping by. It was great having you here. I really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Patrick Ryan wants to know, do I have any advice for new booktubers? Yes. Don't be afraid to ask questions of other content creators. A lot of the times, if you're struggling with something, they struggled with it too, and they may have the advice to get you through it. Again, consistency is key. Good audio, good camera angle, good lighting is important. You can actually get like LED lamp lights for like $44. A decent camera is worth it. Making sure your video is not grainy, things of that nature. I kind of keep my light tilted away so you don't get full-on glare in my glasses. I know a lot of my earlier videos, you could see the ring light in my glasses. I got a lot of comments on that. I got comments on my lighting just being terrible and things of that nature. But yeah, just really consistency. As long as you are putting out content on a regular basis, you should see relatively good channel growth. And if you're interacting in the community. Right now, I'm very bad at sometimes staying up to date on all the Discords I'm in. I think at this point I'm in 23 or 24 different Discords. In fact, I think yesterday I joined Gregory the Perch's Discord. I'm constantly joining Discords and networking. Another thing I highly recommend is networking, because then you can kind of get into buddy reads. You can find out about channel read-alongs, about series that you may not have read, or you've been wanting to get into. One second. Book series that you may want to have been read. I can't say that sentence correctly for some reason. My brain won't click there. But yeah, networking and consistency would be my two main recommendations, and then just overall, be open to advice. Evie asked what my favorite color is. TARDIS blue. TARDIS blue is my favorite color. And there's actually like a Pantone swatch for it. I don't actually know the number, but if you Google it, it'll pop up. That is my favorite color. Elizabeth Bennett, I find myself in love with about anything Forgotten Realms. I have actually not read Forgotten Realms, but I just got just purchased the Drizzt trilogy, the Dark Elf trilogy. So Sojourn, Homeland, and I forget what the third one is. I haven't read them yet. I'm hoping to read them with a group that I'm currently reading Dragonlance with. So we'll see. Let's see. Iron Rain, a fantasy world that you would love to visit, not Wheel of Time, though. If I could visit any world and not die, I would love to go to Bingtown or the Rain Wilds. I would love to go to the Rain Wilds in the Forgotten Realms. I think that would be a lot of fun. Specifically around the time of Flagship Traders. I think that would be a lot of fun. Another cool one I would like to visit would be... Roshar would be a really cool one to visit. Discworld would be a lot of fun, but deadly. Let's see. Where else would I like to visit? I'd like to visit Faye from the Dresden Files. And I would like to visit, I forget the name of the nation, but the world of the Codex Alera series. I think that would be a lot of cool, too. I think it'd be a lot of fun to have a Fury. So. Kryn is also another good answer there. So, yes. Heading out for dinner. See you, Narsil. Thanks for stopping by. Have I read any Recluse by L.E. Modest? I can't say that name. L.E. Modizit? Mazat? I just butchered that. I'm so sorry. I have not read any. I know it's like a 22, 23 book series. There was talk of a buddy read getting ready to go with Rose K. Reads, and then she kind of took an absence. So if she ever comes back from her absence and still wants to do that buddy read, I may then pick up Recluse. Let's see. Orion says, I love D&D questions, and you have me hooked on Wheel of Time. What classes would you say the Edmondsfield 5 are? Oh, this can get a little spoilery. 5. I would say both Nynaeve and Eowyn are. I want to say like wizard. I would say Tom is Tom's not technically part of the 5, but he's part of the party. He's a bard. I would say Perrin would probably be a warrior. Matt would probably be a rogue. And I don't know what Rand would be. I'll have to think about that one. All right, Elizabeth says, just picked up Mel Odom's Threat from the Seed trilogy because some idiot didn't return one of the books to the library. You gotta hate when that happens. But hey, he'll get charged late fees. So if he ever wants to use it again, that happens. So yeah. Favorite sport? I am not much into sports. I played soccer a lot when I was a kid, but I hate watching soccer. I hate watching golf. I like watching hockey live. So I'm going to go ahead and say hockey. I did if you consider martial arts a sport, I used to teach martial arts when I was a teenager. I think I taught from the age of like 15 to 17. Then I threw out my knee and my back and I just stopped. But yeah, so probably hockey and or martial arts. And that is, I am once again caught up on the chat, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm having a blast, even if I keep getting tongue-tied. We still got 14 people here, so if you got any questions, feel free to ask them. I just can't believe, guys, that I'm finally, or I got to 300 subscribers so fast. I just appreciate everybody for subbing to the channel and watching my content. It is absolutely heartwarming, and I cannot thank everybody enough. The BookTube community is fantastic. I forgot about the Ranger class. Perrin could be a Ranger. Iron Rain of books. Favorite book adaptation. For me, that would definitely probably be The Lord of the Rings, bar none. Even though they may not follow the books super closely, they are basically I don't want to say the definitive Lord of the Rings, but I mean, I know people who watch The Lord of the Rings, 10 times a year, while people who maybe read the series once every 2 to 3 years. So the movie adaptations are fantastic. Just the actors that were cast in there, from Hugo Weaving as Elrond to Ian McKellen as Gandalf. I mean, he is Gandalf now. Elijah Wood as Frodo. You had I forgot the name of the actor who played Bilbo, but I mean, he did a way better job than Martin Freeman. Even though I love Martin Freeman, I didn't like the Hobbit movies. I thought if the Hobbit movies had either been scaled down to 2 movies or at least 1 movie, one really long movie, like one Snyder Cut length movie, I'd have been definitely okay with it. But I mean, just everything about the Lord of the Rings movies is just magical, and except for certain scenes that kind of bug me, the slow motion, like jumping on a bed in happiness, and I never really liked those scenes. But I remember the first time Aragorn picks up Narsil, and then like goes, still sharp. Or no, that's John Bain who says still sharp. But when Aragorn kind of puts it back, I just remember seeing that sword. I had dreams of reforging that sword, even though they did it wrong in the movie. And that is one complaint that has always bugged me about that movie. You can't just line up the stuff and bang it with a hammer. That's not how forging works. I don't care if you're in a fantasy world. That's actually a huge pet peeve of mine, is if you just forge something really quick. That was actually one of my complaints here in A Time of Dread. They like forge a sword in like a day, and I'm just like, that's not how that works. I just got off topic again. But yeah. So we're going to say Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Patrick Ryan says, I'm disappointed the Blackhawks and Pens never met in the finals when Teos and Crosby were both in their prime. Yeah. I heard Malkin might be getting traded. I don't know if that's an actual thing. I'm sad because Malkin is one of my favorite players on the Pens. But hey, I think the Avalanche are still in the playoffs. And I also love the Avalanche. I actually got to go to Denver specifically for an Avalanche game at Pepsi Coliseum. I think it was Pepsi. Could be right. Could be wrong. Oh, let me know. I think you live in Colorado, so let me know if I got that wrong. But yeah, I absolutely love the Denver Avalanche as well. Let's see. Elizabeth Bennett, if you were forced to read something other than fantasy and sci-fi, which subgenre would you absolutely abhor, and which wouldn't you mind as much? I would hate to be stuck reading fantasy or romance. Romance would absolutely drive me bug nuts. But I wouldn't mind thrillers. I used to read a lot of thrillers, and then I kind of fell off on those. I read a lot of Steve Barry's. I read Steve Barry, and then I read Clive Cussler. I read a lot of Clive Cussler. So I really love adventure thrillers and things of that nature. And I'm forgetting the Gabriel Leon author. I read a lot of those with the Israeli assassin and things of that nature. So I really, really loved thrillers when I was a teenager. So I wouldn't mind going back to those. Have you watched the Shadow and Bone series on Netflix? I've heard nothing but good things. I have watched the first episode, and then I believe I am about 10 minutes into the second episode. I kept meaning to go back, and then I just didn't. It was kind of one of those ones where I went, "Ooh, shiny," and never went back to it. It bugs me in the first episode where they're literally like, "Don't do the thing, and you're gonna die." And 30 seconds later, they do the thing, like in a blatant way. And I know that like they were like, "Oh, you had to rush things up for a TV show." I don't care. You literally told this guy, "Don't do the thing or you'll die." And then literally 100 feet into the journey, you do the thing and you die. I didn't like that. Okay. I know who you are now, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. Reading Rainbow. I just noticed that that's a monkey holding a cell phone, and I am living for it. I love it. It is fantastic. All right. Have you watched Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix? I have not. My house is ruled by a 1-year-old, and so usually we are watching like Trolls, The Beat Goes On, or like Octonauts. I hope to one day steer her towards Scooby-Doo and a bunch of what I watched as a kid. But for now, it's Octonauts and whatever I just said, Trolls, The Beat Goes On. I do watch a lot of Discovery Plus, though, just because It's great stuff to put you to sleep. I like HGTV and stuff like that, so I watch a lot of Hometown and things of that nature. I'm not a very exciting guy when it comes to my TV choices anymore. But I do love The Mandalorian. All right. We've got another one from Elizabeth. Just found out about Steve Barry and have been reading Cotton Malone. Cotton Malone is fantastic. I think is that Cassiopeia Vitt? I think that is one of the female characters in the Cotton Malone books. I could be thinking of a different series, but Cassiopeia Vitt, I just found out, has her own series as well. I think Cassiopeia is in the Steve Barry books. So she has her own series as well. That already has like 3 or 4 books in it. And I just found out about that a few days ago. I think I was on Book Outlet and saw one of the books there, and I was just absolutely blown away. Oh, hey, Jink. Thanks for clarifying. Thank you for stopping by. I'm really happy to have you here. Yes, Hometown is fantastic. It is. Let me know if you've been watching the Hometown Takeover that they also did. It was fantastic. Wetumpka, Alabama, I think is where they went and did it. It's where the Big Fish house is from the movie Big Fish, and they actually redo the Big Fish house in Hometown Takeover. So it was really, really cool. I love that show. Oh, well, Elizabeth apparently doesn't like Cassiopeia, so forget I said anything. I haven't read the books. I know I don't have those books anymore, mainly because I had to unhaul them to make space for all of these fantasy books. My wife doesn't like having random stacks of books throughout the house. And so I just kind of had to I had to bite the nail and unhaul those. But yeah, I do enjoy the Cotton Malone books. What do I think of Stephen King's writing style? I think he's able to scare the pants off of me. It's been a long time since I've read Stephen King. And I know he's very, very popular in the world of horror. I don't read a lot of horror. Really, The Nightmareland Chronicles by Daniel Barnett is the first horror I've read in almost, I think, a decade. But from what I remember of Stephen King's writing style, he does suspense very, very well. And also, like, the coming-of-age story he does really well. And from what I've read, he can do the slow descent into madness like nobody else can. It's absolutely mind-blowing. The Shining was fantastic. I had to DNF Pet Sematary mainly because I couldn't deal with the themes in it anymore. I was horrified. I think a lot of the times he gets a little bit zany, especially during a specific period in his history before he got sober. Like the first few Dark Tower books. Gunslinger is really good. But then, like, Dark Tower is, while a masterpiece, it's out there. A lot of it's just so interesting and confusing. Thank you for stopping by, Nico. Really glad you stopped by, and thank you for everything. Oh, definitely check it out. It is well worth it. I think each episode is like an hour. Though it's a longer episode, and I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. Some really cool stuff in there. How does it feel to have 300 subscribers? It's a bit surreal. I don't know what I did, but I went from 290 subscribers, and then I jumped to like 310. And then by the time I made the announcement for the live show, I was already at like 325. So I don't know what I did, but something I did garnered attention. And I'm absolutely grateful. I can't believe that I am at 300 subscribers. It feels very surreal. I'm very bad at taking praise. A lot of people say they like my content. And I'm constantly, I've got the artist mentality of it's never good enough. And so I'm always judging myself. So it's really good to constantly see people subscribing, because it's a quick affirmation of people do want to see what I'm doing. And so it feels amazing. It absolutely feels great. I love the BookTube community, and I just can't wait to continue growing and making new friends. The Wizardly Duo Discord, honestly, I would take everybody in there over the feeling of 300 subscribers, just talking to those people on a daily basis. I've been busy the last couple of days, so I haven't really been able to be very active in the Discord, which makes me sad. But I will be hopefully rectifying that soon. And just talking to those people that I've met who are subscribed in the Discord is fantastic. Go ahead and jump in if you want to talk to us on a more regular basis. I would love to talk to everybody. Oh man, it is so scary. And I as a new parent, I just can't read that book anymore. Any harm to kids is something I can't read. Unless it's like background, like, the village was slaughtered, women and children too. I can deal with that as long as it's like background information. But once you bring it up close and personal to me, I can't deal with it. Yeah. Thank you, Raul. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. That's fine. It is absolutely fine if they're not. I'm sure your own reviews are your favorite on BookTube. Or somebody else. Who knows? When do I find time to film and then edit? So my daughter goes to bed at like 7:30. So, or if my wife is watching the kid, I can sneak away to film. And as I've said, I film in kind of like a string of consciousness. So I'm going to just kind of get it out, and then I'll cut things out that may not either hit correctly or may be off message. And, or if I just get derailed or sidetracked or lose train of thought, I'll cut out those gaps, but I record everything in like one conscious, length. And so, I do a little bit of pre-planning so that, I'll have like little Post-its or notes or like my books stacked around. I'm sure if you watch my tags lately, I'm awful at stacking my books, and so I'm constantly having to rearrange. But yeah, no, I have to find the time, and so I do. I kind of. Oh, Raul says that I am in fact his. My reviews are his favorite. So thank you, Raul. But oh, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I try to be genuine in my videos. Right now, I'm just too busy answering questions to get hyperactive. But as I get more comfortable in front of the camera, you can start to see me get a little bit more zany. So I am excited. I do have a format change up coming. I believe next Thursday's video will be the new format, and then it will go back to the old format on Friday, and then going forward from there, it will be the new format again. Mainly just because of the readathon, I had a bunch of unreleased videos that I needed to. I had a backlog, and the readathon over at Shelf Space for the Olympics, you get points for doing book reviews. Which, since doing that, I think I'm going to have to do Goodreads reviews instead, even though I barely use Goodreads. So we'll see what happens. Audible King, I have a channel, and I know it's hard to get subs, so you have great content. Thank you very much. I think you're onto something, though. Just a channel that focuses on audiobooks there is people who want to hear thoughts on audiobooks. I know I did a single audiobook recommendation video, and I think it did fairly well. I'd have to go look at the analytics, but it wasn't a disappointing video. So my recommendation would be to join a bunch of Discords and do some networking. The more you network, the more people you can meet. Literally, I met Raul, and I got to do Howdy Partner, the first read along for that, which I really, really enjoyed talking to that author. Even though I didn't absolutely love the book, I actually had a lot of complaints while I was reading that book. And then afterwards, after talking with the author and sitting with my thoughts on the book for a while, I was absolutely just blown away by it. And I look forward to the second one, mainly because it does have a very, very interesting story to tell. So networking is a great way to not only find new reads, but also to get your channel out there. Let's see. If you could narrate a book, which one would it be? If I had the audacity to narrate a book, which one do I think I could do justice? Let's see. Well, if I could just narrate a book, though, I would probably narrate The Great Coats, Trader's Blade. Why not? It's a shorter book, and I think I could put a different spin on a little bit of the characters there and see if maybe there wouldn't be so much melodrama. Let's see. Daniel says he admits he didn't know what he was saying in that live with us. It's fine. You did great. I couldn't tell. You definitely seemed to know what you were talking about. It was a lot of fun. I do want to do another hottie partner read sometime. I've just got to find room in the TBR to get it done. I did not expect the Akaton, the Engineer, A Chronicles of Akaton story to be as beefy as it was. I think it took me like 8 days to read. It was intense. It was really, really intense. All right, so I see we still got 14 people here. It looks like we've been going for almost 2 hours. So I'll cut it off at 2 hours, guys. So if you've got any more questions, feel free to ask them, and I will try to get to them as fast as possible. I've tried to answer everybody's questions just to make, yeah, I'm having fun. Yeah, who you choose to collaborate with is very, very important. I mean, you definitely want to play collaborate with people who are passionate, but a lot of times it's good to just find people you click with. And if you can click with those people, you can bounce off of them. Your taste may not align perfectly, but that's okay. That means you can just have different perspectives. Perspectives. I don't know what I just said. But yeah. Let's see. Have I ever played Halo? Yes, I played Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, and I think I stopped in the middle of Halo 4. But it's been a long time. I haven't played. Well, did I play that? What was it? Legends? No, it wasn't Legends. Reach. Reach is what I'm trying to think of. I think I played a little bit of Reach, but I haven't played on Xbox One. Mainly because I don't have an Xbox One. I have a PS4. And that was an answer to Daniel's question on if I've ever played Halo. I prefer RPGs over shooters, but I do love shooters if it's mixed with RPG elements. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I can't believe that it's been an amazing journey, and I look forward to many more milestones and just meeting a lot of new friends and having a lot of fun. Thank you. Anybody still here, make sure you are checking out Brighton Bookish. She is an up-and-coming booktuber. She, I believe, did her booktube newbie tag last month. And definitely go and check her out and sub to her. She is fantastic, and she's got some really good content to check out. She is one of those underrated channels that I was talking about earlier that I really think is going to grow into something special. The only reason Raul knew it was because I had to read the book the night before the live. Did you read the entire book the night before the live? I have to know, Daniel. Is that what you did? Because that's intense. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me in suspense. I know there's lag. I got to know. Thank you very much. on the well wishes, and I appreciate y'all. I can't say that enough. Oh, okay. He had read most of it. So you hadn't finished the book by the time of the live show? Oh no! I hope we didn't spoil anything for you. It was a spoiler talk. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Tisk, tisk. Well, now you have plenty of time to go back and read it again. I will eventually reread The Engineer just to see if I've got a different take on it now that I've talked with Darren. Whew. All right, guys, we got 4.5 minutes left. Any more questions? I'll tell you what, guys, though, I've been thinking of adding a third shelf here. I've got a piano right over here at a frame that I don't know how to play. It's for my daughter when she's older. But if I shove the piano over and I shove this bookcase over a few more inches, I can fit a third shelf here. I'm definitely thinking of doing that. But that way, but then I have no further room to expand. I might be able to score, like, I might do some hanging shelves over here. And maybe another shelf over here, possibly, but it wouldn't be on screen. On screen, I can ever only fit 3 shelves, so we'll see what happens. But what do you mean you're never reading that book again? The Engineer was an absolute delight, and you loved it. Major PTSD. I am actually looking forward to the release of Darren's follow-up book. Specifically because it's been 4 years, so I kind of want to see how he's grown as a writer. Because I believe The Engineer came out in, I think, 2017. All right, man, this has been a lot of fun. I had a lot more fun than I don't know why I was nervous. This was absolutely fantastic. Let's see if I missed anything here. Nothing's catching my eye. Go to new comments. Show. You know, Raul does like guilt tripping, but it's okay. We love him for it. It's good to have somebody to push you to read books that you may be unsure of or that you may otherwise not give the time of day to. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I think Raul is doing good work. And I think that I've got a little calendar over here, and I'm going to put a gold star under his name today. So I don't actually have that. That's not a thing. But let's pretend I do. All right. So I think I have time for one more question. One more question, guys, and then I think I'm going to sign off. Yeah, you get a gold star, Raul. Who doesn't love a gold star? My favorite movie. Okay, so this is the last question. My favorite movie. Growing up, I would have told you either Indiana Jones, the one with Sean Connery, or it would have been Empire Strikes Back. Since then, I would say the movie I watched the most of would probably be Princess Bride. I love The Princess Bride. I think it's a masterpiece, and I do need to read the book. I've seen a couple copies at the used bookstore, and I've never sprung for it to pick it up. So yeah, it would definitely be probably The Princess Bride. I love The Lord of the Rings as well. I actually don't like the Harry Potter movies. Even though I think the actors did a fantastic job, Once I like all the way up to, I think, Order of the Phoenix. And once we got to Half-Blood Prince and what was the 7th book called? Deathly Hallows. I didn't like those movies. So, yeah. Oh, I got it. I was very confused by the fake gold. But that said, guys, we are at the 2-hour mark. Thank you so much for stopping by to chat with me. I had a lot of fun. I will have to do this again sometime. But till next time, guys, peace out. Stay magical. And thank you so much for subscribing and just being awesome, awesome, awesome people. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out. Bye.